Good morning, D. How are you?
Buddy, doing all right, man. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good. And of course, we are in the first week of the year and you are sick.
Right, right.
So what do you have?
I don't know. I think I'm thinking the flu. I don't. You know what I mean? I don't really know for sure, but that's kind of what
It's
I'm.
going around.
It's kind of what I'm leaning towards.
It is going around. We're going to give it a couple minutes. Well, not a couple minutes, but we'll give it a minute. I'm excited for this new year. We went to a service that they were talking about how most people they will make New Year's resolutions, and by February, 80% of them, the ones that made them, it already fell off. And then by 2 months in, the rest, and it's a very small percentage of the ones that see it throughout the year.
Right.
We need to be that 1%, right?
No,
So
that's right.
that's what today's going to be about. The 52 Creator Challenge, that's what it's about, is we're going to keep you on track. There was a comment. Can you imagine if you gave it your all? If you had your undivided attention to 1 year and you gave it your all, 1 year, just gave it your all. This is one of the reasons why we decided on 52 Creator, because a lot of times people will do a 30-day challenge, 90-day challenge. The problem with that is usually it takes a year to really form incredible habits, to break bad ones. It takes a year to really see the difference. You're going to see wins in 30, 60, 90 days for sure, but you got to give it a year. And they said, can you imagine if you just gave it your all for 1 year, dedicated 1 year to your goals, your dreams, your ideas? What would happen in that year?
Right.
And that's what it's going to be about. Let's see. By the way, I've got a switcher. I don't dare to use it today. Keith, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We have a switcher. I don't dare to use it yet because I'm going to make sure that everything works. I could try this here, though. Yeah. And tonight we're going to have the very first training for the week, for week 1 of the 52 Creator Challenge, and really stoked about it. And I think it's going to be life-changing for a lot of people. I know it was for me, for sure, but I think it's going to be absolutely life-changing. And then we're going to talk about today, and I know you're feeling ill, so we're going to try to keep this 30 minutes, because a lot of what's going to happen is going to happen tonight, okay? And we are going live every week, twice a week. Every morning, have a tip. Every morning, Biz Morning is going to have a tip for all of those that are involved in the challenge. Oh, he's saying he can't hear anything. Can you hear me?
Yeah. No, I can hear you.
Okay. Not sure why, Keith.
Yeah, I don't. I'm trying to figure that one out
Not
too.
sure why. You might have to click if you can't hear me.
Right.
Put in the chat. You might have to click your speaker. There's a little speaker icon. Sometimes it's got the slash through it. That's in the video. It should be in the live feed. Good morning. Anyone that has questions, how was your New Year's celebration? Are you ready for this year? I've never in my life been more ready. Not only ready, but more positive, more energy than this year right now. Very, very excited about it. All right, so we're going to get going. One of the things that I want to talk about, and by the way, this will be a recording inside as well, or it'll have a replay. So if anyone can't catch it today during the day, you will be able to catch it tonight in the replay in the group, which is Link Boss right up in the corner. You should see the word. And that is where tonight's training is going to be. Also, we're going to talk about today some of the things that, first of all, I want to really discuss. Not only that do we have this year's challenge, but you got to have a belief. There's a lot of naysayers out there, and you got to be careful of that. I remember when I was leaving a company when I was in my 20s, and I had a multitude of people saying, really, you're going to do that? Like, really? And you got to be careful of your circle. Once again, one of the things that, I don't think that you have to do away with friends or family, but what you do is you make sure that you're always in alignment of people with people that have your dreams as well. Meaning you got to be in alignment of like-minded people, because
No, you don't want to hang out with like a negative person all the time. You definitely got to hang out with, like you said, like-minded people, positive people that are going to add to your life, not take away from it.
Right. By the way, I got to share this. Somebody said it's not on. One moment. This will take a second. So get going. So talk about some of the tips that keep you on your New Year's resolutions.
I mean, honestly, it's persistence. It's, I don't know. Like one of my pet peeves are people that don't do what they say and say what they do. You know what I mean? And I take that across the board, including myself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I try to hold myself accountable for it. If I say I'm going to be over here at 5 a.m. working, I'm over here at 5 a.m. working,
Right.
And I think that's what keeps me on track. Got a list, check them off, just keep working towards it.
Fantastic. That is the key. Here's the other one. I'm going to give some tips as to what I'm using that's going to help me stay on my goal. I'm going to talk about some of our goals as well. One moment. Okay, thank you. I'm not sick, but I do have an annoying cough, but I feel great.
I'll say you sound just as bad as I do.
Man, dude, it's crazy. All right. Hey, if you're stopping by, say hi. So today we're going to talk about belief system. It's early. When we started the broadcast, we were talking about how they claim that anywhere between 80 right up into the 90% range of people that make New Year's resolutions within the first or second month, it's gone. Now, one of the things that I did, I don't have it right in front of me, but I purchased for 2023, an actual physical calendar with the note system in it. And why I think that's important, although we have our devices, something about the power of seeing it and writing it down, it really keeps you on track. And I believe you got to measure everything. You got to every week measure your week. Am I on track? Am I hitting the goals that I needed to hit to make these things happen? And if you don't do that, that's what's going to aid to this. The other thing is what we were talking about, negative people. You got to get the negative people out of your life. Okay. If you have a question, feel free. By the way, how many of you are looking at this as your year? Like I said, I've never been so focused. Somebody says, good morning. We can't see you. You may want to permission StreamYard. Otherwise, good morning. All right. So I'm gonna just talk about a few of the things that I believe that you got to start this year out with. And it's this. Number one, get rid of the naysayers, or limit your time with them. Okay. Negative people. The sky's always falling, the conspiracy theories that are out there. At the end of the day, things are going to happen. So why would you want to spend your time in the gutter? How about spending your time moving forward in becoming a freight train going through this year? That's really what you should be doing. Gossipers, get rid of them. Did I spell it? You got to get rid of that. Don't participate in it. It literally will destroy your year. So these are the type of things that's going to really hurt your year. Know that going into it. Just eliminate this. Time sucks. What are they? Once again, gossiping. going
Right.
out too much. My wife and I decided, hey, because we're always busy, we tend to eat out a little more often. We're always going to have date night because it's important, but we're going to limit going out, you know? Um, she's on the same path as me as the goals and ideals for this year, including health. And to do that, we got to make room for that, right? But we also have to have time for ourselves. So we got to make time for that.
That's right.
So get rid of the time sucks. Let's see what else. Cut out all distractions. Even with the 52 creator tonight, we're going to be training in the group. And every week, the first week, you're going to feel a little overwhelmed a little bit because it's going to be today, tomorrow, all the way till Saturday. Sunday, you're going to have off. Starting Monday starts the second week. Know this, the way we're going to train, it won't be overwhelming because we're going to do just-in-time learning. And there are some practices that you got to do. So let's talk about the year. You got to measure it every week. If you constantly are on it, you're not going to forget your New Year's resolutions, what you're wanting to do for the year. If you're going to be a creator, this is the year. You got to devote the year for it. You're going to see results in month 1, month 2, month 3. But if you devote the whole year, that's where the success is. Let me bring up one that I want to talk about. So let's talk about the negative. Why do I bring that up? There's going to be people in your life that you're going to say, yeah, I want to do this. And they're going like, there's a lot of people doing that. Or I want to create this. And some people are going to say, hey, you know what? I don't see that's going to work. As long as you're doing your due diligence, you're going to know truths. Be careful of the ones that think they know, but don't really know. So you got to be careful of that. Same with the people that are dream killers. Oh, you can't do that. You know, so get that. Just know you got to put the blinders on. You're going to have haters. You're going to have people that are jealous. That's going to happen. It's kind of sad that it's true, but it's true. There's going to be some people that don't want you to succeed.
Nope, that's right.
It's true.
True.
Okay, enough of that. I got to get that out of the year. Make that a priority, that you're the priority. Like you have to put yourself in the schedule as you got to learn, you got to apply, and you got to get results. Okay. Have you ever heard of the app Lensa?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay, so the cartoon version of you and I that's why I put the one with the hat on, right? That's
Right.
Lensa. So if anyone wants to know how we create some of the stuff, we use Canva, we use Lensa. There's some other stuff that we're using. And, but get this is very exciting. So I want people to just understand that as a creator, no matter what you can think up, you can do it. I mean, unless it's like a stairway to the moon, obviously it's got to be within reason, right? But at the end of the day, whatever you can dream up, then you want to vet it, make sure that people want it. I talked about, I think was last week, or did I not talk about it? I will talk about it. A long time ago, on Blog Talk Radio, I talked about there's going to be a day soon that you're not going to see cashiers. Now, I would have thought that they would have been all gone by now. And I know it's horrible, but listen, we got to embrace technology. It's here and it's staying. So we can either resist the tide or we go with the tide, and so shall your life. Like you're going to have a better quality life if you're not resisting everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does.
So with that being said, I came up with, I'm like, okay, so I'm one of these people that's like, and then what? This is a Jim Rohn thing. And then what? What do I mean by that? I used to have like road rage a little bit, not bad, but how dare them cut me off, right? Now it's kind of like, isn't that interesting? This is a Jim Rohn, always so passive, and I envy you. I don't think I've ever seen you mad. I think I've heard you say, yeah, I'm pretty pissed off right now. And it sounds like you're very calm. So my CTO, same way. I don't think I've ever seen him really mad. So I always wanted to work on that for myself. So now, man, I just, I see somebody trying to inch in, I let them go. I let them in. You don't know what's going on in their life, right?
Right.
So anyway, so I'm always thinking ahead, like, okay, so if there's no cashiers, where can it even get better? Now, I don't know if I shared this last week, but I'll mention. And I don't think it exists. So if somebody wants to steal this idea, go ahead, because it would be really cool if somebody did it, because I want to see it done. When we had GeekLink, I wanted to do it. But here's the deal. It's a smart cart where you're shopping, and as you're putting things into the cart, it scans it. It already knows what you're buying. All of the impulse buys would be within every aisle, opposed to because there's a lot of money made with impulse buys. So your first thought would be, and I got to believe and I think they started realizing it. If you notice the lines now, it kind of makes you go through a maze a little bit of product. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, for sure.
And I don't know who came up with this, but if you went to like Target, and there was so many other companies, now you see them all doing it for the most part. When you go through a line, those are all impulse buys. These are, you don't really need it, but it's right there and you're waiting, and it kind of just attracts you and you buy it, right?
Right.
And it's universal. So it's for men and women. Get this one. The product that are for men, most women purchase. And it makes sense in a way that, a woman's like, hey, or like my wife, for instance, I think Tim would really like that. Or I would like for him to have this or whatever, right? Where a guy might say, I don't need it, right? So I started really thinking about it. It's like, that's what's going on there. But with the smart cart, all of those impulse buys would be feathered throughout each aisle. Meaning, I don't think they're going to really lose it. Okay. Right. And then if the cart goes out of the store, it now pays for your groceries. There's many ways that would work. When you go to a restaurant, you can pay at the table. It's kind of that concept, right? You pay right at the cart. The cart sends the thing. I just think that would be an incredible product. So you always got to be thinking ahead. So let's go with Lensa. Ready? If you were to guess, so Lensa, you can make avatar version of yourself, and it's more than that. You could say, hey, put my picture on the moon. You're like, so make an avatar of me standing on the moon, or make an avatar of me in a spacesuit. And it's going to do it. And get this, it's going to do it really, really well.
Huh.
Now let's talk about the yin and the yang. This is why I say, be careful of negative talk. Be careful, because here's the deal. Society's moving fast, and either we move with it. Have you ever been at a company where they have changes and there's those resistors?
Oh yeah.
Whatchamacallit, Twitter was one of them.
Right.
If you love it or not, the reason why Elon Musk had to get rid of people is because they didn't want the change. Sometimes you got to embrace change. So once again, you can go against the tide or you can go with it. And I'm not saying with everything.
And the thing is embracing it's good, but you sometimes you can't resist it. You know what I mean? Like it's okay to be like, hey, I'm not 100% sure, but this is what the company's doing, and I'm rolling with it. At least be open-minded towards it.
Right.
Or just shutting it down.
So Lensa, there's this, OpenAI. I've been dabbling with OpenAI all year, and we know that it was out there. I mean, we saw a lot of applications using it, but Lensa is doing nothing more than OpenAI or Chat GPT, where you yourself can just go there, create something. But what they did is they just made a really good interface that made it super simple that people were willing to pay money for it, opposed to doing it themselves for free, because you could do that. But there's a lot of workaround, and there's some things that you got to learn to do it, where they made a beautiful platform that would do it to where it makes it easy for you.
Keith, going back a little bit, Keith said that at Sam's Club there's an option where he can scan stuff, put it in the cart, and then pay on his phone. I'm guessing there was 2 different messages, but
Nice, 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 nice. Yeah, it's something like that. But imagine the cart though, where this way it would help with theft, where the cart scans it. Like, and there could be tags to where it would make that technology super easy.
right.
It's just my thought. Now, mind you, last week we were talking about ideas. Get them on paper first. All of them. Just do a brain dump, right? Sometimes it's at dinner. Sometimes it's right before you go to bed. Sometimes it's whatever, but do a brain dump of your ideas. It's going to help you decipher which ones are the ones you want to go with, because you don't want to work all of your ideas. We've had that issue where we were working too many things at the same time. Be careful of that.
Right.
But I had an idea for a bench press because there were so many kids that were dying, teenage boys. Mom and dad would come home to find their son dead because weight crushed them, right? So I came up with this design. I'm not going to say what it is here, but someday I'm going to give light to that. But guess what? It's on my back burner. And if somebody creates it, great. I have a plethora of ideas. So don't worry so much. Like Elon Musk said it best, that he doesn't even get trademarks. I'm like, what? But he doesn't. He's just so fast that by the time the people copy him, he doesn't care. He's an innovator. He wants to see other people innovate. So it's like, why would you want to hold people back? So I kind of believe in that to some degree. Some things I would want to be careful with, especially if it's a legacy thing. So let's go back to Lensa. So I don't know if you know this. So Lensa took technology that's already out there, and folks, we're going to teach how you do stuff like this, but it's technology that's already out there. They made a container that made it intuitive to where it made it easy for you to use, app-based. Now it can take photos right from your phone and do the things that you would want it to do, right? And then they put it out there for a price, and people were willing to pay for that, even though you could do it for free. So take a stab as to what they made. Now, remember, this is just an app. It's an app. It does one thing. It does photos and stuff for you. What do you think that they made last year? 2022. 10 million. Close. 16 million. So they're doing over $1 million a month. And get this. You create an app, you do not need a lot of humans to run that company.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like if you look at, you look at a big organization, let's just use a hotel or whatever. You got to pay for the building. You got all the people working there. You got the maids. You got the people at the desk. You got all of these things. You got maintenance. You have all of these people, and they're probably making not even close to what that app is doing. So what I like doing is coming up with applications and programs. And my first thought is, especially now with AI, I'll tell you about one scary thing about AI though, here in a moment. Remind me about Facebook's AI. Okay. But my CTO and I were talking about it this morning. But here was the deal. With AI, especially with Linkboard, there's some things that we're doing that are coming that are going to be a game changer for the 52 creator group, and that's going to help you design and help you create product. How cool is that, right? It bonks you on the head when you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing, and then tell you, hey, this is a low level activity. But more importantly, it's going to help you flush something out, and it's not human. I mean, it's very cool. Once again, I embrace this stuff. But here's one scary thing though. So Facebook was doing this back in 2015, and they kiboshed it. Do you know why they kiboshed it?
No idea.
The robots right now are becoming smart. So the whole idea, they created robots that can start thinking for themselves. It used to be where I always cried foul and said, no, you told the robot what to do. Kind of like Google. If you told or asked Google to find something for you, all she's doing is crawling, the bot, I should say. Notice how I said she. The bot is crawling the web and then saying what the web says. And by the way, for those that are listening, you can participate in that. If you have a website and you're informative, you can be part of that, to where if somebody asked a question, it could be she's reading your website to give them the answer.
Right.
So my feeling was with Sophia, is she really thinking? Is she really talking to me? Or is it pre-programmed for what to say?
No, I mean, I mean, it's not pre-programmed, because it's taking your reactions and your responses and coming up with something on its own, right?
Yes, she is absolutely thinking now. So Facebook was creating this, it's almost like Chatbot 2, but Facebook was we're creating something of our own. So I have an AI guy. I'm so in love with this stuff that it makes my brain want, it's exciting. And, but here was the deal. So we love what this thing was doing, but we're like, but what about this? And we're coming up with this technology for Linkboard that's insane, like literally life-changing insane. But going back to this Facebook thing, guess what happened? So it's writing articles. It's doing all of the things that we're going to teach tonight, by the way. But it's writing articles. It's doing blog posts. It's doing all these things for you. But to give you an example, with Chat GPT, I could go, hey, write this article as if Denzel Washington was doing it, like in his voice. Write this article like James Earl Jones. Is that his right name?
Yeah. Yep.
CNN.
Yeah.
Write it like if he was saying it, and it would do it. Now, there's some things that I love about that, and then there's things that whole authenticity that I kind of question a little bit. But here's what happened with Facebook. Facebook had this happening, and guess what? It formed its own language, and it started communicating with itself or other bots in its own language, meaning humans wouldn't understand it.
Right.
And it frightened them, and they kiboshed it. You can look it up. I just thought that was really cool. Oh, yeah. Google's AI is pretty decent. Not as great as some of the other ones that we've been playing with. But yeah, Keith, absolutely. This is here to stay. By the way, my phone's over there. If you ever look at your phone and you on the upper right-hand corner, you see a little orange light or red light, depending. Do you know what that means?
They're watching you?
Watching or listening or both. Usually they're listening to you. So if you ever go to Google, you'll see that light pops open. Okay. So it's a little orange or red. By the way, you can shut that off in your settings. I'm not going to say how to do it here. Google it. You'll see how. But your phone is always listening. Part of the AI now, some of these AI that are out there, the technology that's out there, are literally looking for behaviors, so that the ads that they deliver in front of you are just so dialed in now that companies, instead of possibly making, let's say a company was looking to produce 5 million in a year, now they're doing it in a month. Because of that technology. What do I mean by that? It designs an ad perfectly for the avatars that it's listening to. How incredible is that? Now, once again, you're going to have some people saying, I don't like that.
Right.
It is what it is. So if we like it or not, do I think that it could be used against us, used in a harmful way? Of course. Okay, let's talk about this. So imagine the creators of Lensa saying, hey, and this is where it starts, the napkin thing, right?
Right.
What if we so if it were me, I would say, hey, D, I want you to go to this website and I want you to do this, 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 and this. And then call me when you did it. Okay. Then I would get on the phone. Hey, Tom, I need you to go to a website when you can, and I need you to do this, this, and this, and this. This is what it does. And this is what I want you to do. Do you see value in that, first of all? Let's say the answer is, yeah, I do. Okay. I want you to do that. And then call me when you're done. Then I would call, hey, Lori, I need you to go to, and I would do that for about 10 people. And then I would listen to them. What did you love about it? What did you not like about it? and how simple was it for you to use? And if
Right.
the simplicity part out of a 5 was a 3 or less, I would build a program or an app that made it a 5. And now it will make money. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's what Lensa did. All Lensa did is said, okay, people are finding this confusing. It's not real intuitive. I find you and I, Facebook ads, is it intuitive?
Sometimes.
No, when you go inside to place
Oh
an ad,
no, it is not intuitive at all.
oh my God, it's jumping through hoops. It's like,
Right.
who wrote this? Like,
Right.
it's so bad. Like, even the Facebook group could be so much better. So we figured out a way that we can write code to where Facebook allows you to bring website stuff inside a group or inside a page, right? So we wrote a code. It's not going to be here yet for another few weeks, but it'll allow us to do things inside, but make it more intuitive. Intuitive meaning user friendly.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
So same with the Linkboard app. You know, that's got to be, and if you see what this thing's going to be able to do, it's crazy. Including one of the things that I loved, what we want Linkboard to do is help you with all facets of your professional life. So it's going to help you on the fitness side. It's going to help you on your schedule. It's going to help you with your day and your processes and all of this good stuff. But it's also going to help you with your finances, meaning getting rid of the things that are draining, right? There's an app right now that you could download and it could tell you, hey, did you realize that you have 3 Netflix accounts? No, I didn't. Do you realize there are people that are paying not just Netflix, this could be other companies every month, and they didn't realize that they have like multiple accounts and they're paying for them.
Right.
So what it will do is close the 2 and keep the 1. Then it will also find accounts that you're paying for that now I know how it's doing it. But it'll find other accounts that you're paying for that you're like, oh my God, I thought I canceled that or I don't need it. So you nix it and it's going to save you money. Okay. Would you find that very helpful?
Absolutely.
Now, can you imagine that something's helping you with from banking to everything? It's going to bonk you on the head and say, hey, it's cheaper here and it's better here for this reason. Okay. Any more questions? We're going to wrap this up. So anyone that's in part of the 52 challenge, it is tonight and it is here. First of all, if you're not part of it and you want to be, that's where you go. You'll be notified. The second thing you're going to want to do is join our group. That is where tonight's training is going to be. And then inside Linkboard, by the way, everyone that's going to be in tonight, from you should have your domain name .com, your name, meaning your name, .com purchased and hosting. And then tonight we're going to show you what to do. So that's going to be for your core. You're going to know exactly what that is. If you don't, if you need help, you can always book a call. Just message us and we will book a call with you and help you out absolutely for free and go from there. So I'm excited. 2023 is finally here. But let's make every week count. Not like, you're dabbling in it. No, you want to make every week count. Don't forget your New Year's resolutions. You're going to actually see them all through, depending on what they are. Sometimes I'd make a New Year's resolution that I realized, hey, I got to change that because I have a new direction on it. Does that make sense? Like, not always you're going to keep it.
Right, right.
For instance, I had a New Year's resolution last year that I was going to lose a certain amount of weight. This year, I made a New Year's resolution of a target that I was going to hit. I already hit it. So now what am I going to do? I'm going to remake that New Year's resolution. Now I'm going to the next level with it. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
That's what we're going to do throughout the year. The other thing we're going to do is keep everyone accountable. If you're in the group, participate. They'll tell you when you declare it, it becomes real. Start declaring, your mission, what you're going to do. I would also highly recommend what niche you're in. Hey, I'm in the fitness niche, or I'm a foodie, so I'm going to teach people how to cook, like something like that. Just put it in there, and we're also going to help you flesh things out as well inside the group. Okay, any other questions? I cannot find, let's see, I cannot find you're going to get it today. So no worries if you didn't. Signed up weeks ago. I don't know, Keith. I will look into it though. What time is it? It is 7 p.m. And there will be videos in there by noon that you will go through as well before 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Dee's not feeling really great. Maybe if you are, you can participate. Otherwise, it will be myself. I will be your trainer tonight, and looking forward. Susie, nice seeing you as well. Let's see, anything else in here? I think that's about it. One of the things I just want to real quickly say, start thinking of delegation too. You're gonna find that you can get overwhelmed. So there's things that you're always going to want to do, right? Because you're the voice. Like for instance, I'll utilize Susie right now. She's a Krav Maga instructor. So she's probably the one that's got to instruct, right? Unless she has other instructors that are also, whatever belt or whatever belt that's needed to teach it. She could have other instructors as well. But if not, maybe it's her. By the way, we're going to talk about the type of cameras to use. Video is king for 2023. We're going to go over that tonight as well, but there's a certain video camera that would be perfect for Susie, being that she's going to be doing demos. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to be using that myself. All right. We're going to wrap it up. I hope to see all of you here tonight. Refer people too. If you have an accountability buddy, or you have somebody, regardless if they're going to create something different, bring them. Then you can have an accountability partner or buddy to do that. I need to know that. Oh, as far as camera, yes, you will know that. What is that, D? Read it.
What if my idea is a one-man band thing, unless D thinks that it isn't?
It depends on what a one-man band. If it's like
right, obviously the planning in initial phases, you know what I mean, is there's gonna be part of it's just gonna be a one-man band, for
absolutely.
Sure. But obviously once it gets going, it's not gonna be a one-man band.
Nice. Yeah. Let me jump in. If you meant I'm going to create something, I think only one person's going to want it. No, you're going to want to move on.
Yeah, no. He's just saying like doing the initial layout and work and.
Oh, you're always going to do that. We all start out that way. Yeah.
Exactly.
By the way, there's a misnomer out there that you can't hit 10 million unless you have a huge staff. That's not true. There's multiple companies. I think Dropbox even only they were under 10 back in the day. What is it? What's that once? Something Signals. I'm losing it. You and I think talked about it. 52 Signals. I forget the name of the company. They wrote Rework. They're a very small company, multi-million-dollar company, multi-million-dollar. Here's the difference of the ones that can or cannot. Grub Guys. My goal, that Grub Guys is a hobby brand of ours. That'll probably go beyond the hobby part, but it's a hobby brand that does have an exit appeal to it. Okay. Exit meaning somebody may want to buy your company, purchase your company. If it were me, I would always look at anything that I was doing. Could it have an exit to it? Now with Susie, it's a little harder. Do you remember Tybo?
Yeah.
He made a lot of money with that program. I don't know what ever happened to it. I don't even know what ever happened to him. But at the end of the day, it was him that everyone was purchasing. If I was to do that, I would make it to where it's not about one person. but it's about the program. Now it's sellable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because if you take that person out of the equation and it dies, it's not going to do anyone any good.
That's right.
So that's one of the things. But if it were me, and if I wanted to have the highest impact in my first year, I would probably do a course. A course can do over $1 million easily, depending on what the subject matter is, if done right. We've seen it. You and I've been in this industry. It's an incredible, and it's not going anywhere. Like in the next 5 years, you're going to see a lot of courses get on the marketplace. There's a lot of room for them. So that's what I would do. And now, is that scalable? Depends, but probably not. It's going to have a shelf life. Like for instance, if I made a course on time management, that technically could be evergreen because I can constantly update it. But if I made a course on how to shoot with a DSL camera, that might have a shelf life because now a lot of people are using their iPhones, and even that'll be outdated someday. Does that make sense?
100%.
That's what I'm referring to. For me, I like making applications because they have a higher impact. My goal, even with Linkboard, is to hit a certain number. My goal with Grub Guys as a hobby brand is to hit $1 million plus in sales for the year. Remember, not to talk money, it's a report card. That's all it is. I'm not one you're going to see a Lambo guy. I don't want to show off. Like you see a lot of that lately. It's not me. So don't worry about talking about money. Money's a report card. And like for Susie, what if Susie could, go full time into what she loves to do? I don't know. It takes money to do that. Right. So don't be afraid to discuss money, because we are going to discuss it often. For those tonight, we're going to see them at 7, and there will be videos in there for you as well prior to that. Also, make sure that you participate in the group. D, I hope you feel better.
Thank you.
If you're able, we'll see each other at 7 tonight. Otherwise, everybody have an amazing week. You're going to see Biz Morning. We're doing some snippet videos that are just going to keep you on track. Just little tips every day to help you. It's going to come out every morning. And hopefully you'll get a lot of value out of that as well. We're going to go big with YouTube this year as well, because I think it's just an easy platform to digest info. And hopefully you're not going to overwhelm yourself. So, alrighty, everyone have an amazing week. We will see you tonight for those that are part of the 52 Creator. My apologies for Monday, Tuesday. StreamYard had a problem, but when that was fixed, we were able to create what was needed to get this journey started. And now we have a backup just in case that there is a glitch somewhere, including Facebook. We can always do something to where we don't stop. You got to keep going, right? Awesome, Susie. We'll see you tonight. Everybody have a great day. D, hope you feel better, brother.
Thank you.
Stay on just for a minute.
Yep.
Everybody, it was a pleasure seeing you. Next time we go live, make sure you come with questions. Peace out.